The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon if you're on the East Coast. Kevin with Flux here. Thank you for joining me today in our training on the letters and templates. This training is going to be focused on the basics of letters and templates in the Flux system. If you should have any questions at any time during the webinar, please type it in the question section. We're going to go ahead and dedicate the last portion of this webinar for questions and answers, so we'll be saving all of your questions for then. If we don't get to your question in time, we'll try to curate those and answer them offline in an extended Q&A. So let's get started. In this letter and templates overview webinar, we'll be answering the following questions. What are templates? How do I create a template? Can I edit the letter once it's generated? How is the ad hoc menu populated and sorted? How do templates compare to snapshots? How do I add dynamic content to my template? What other options are available for the letter templates? And finally, what export and print settings are available? And again, as I said earlier, there will be a Q&A after the overview. Okay, so let's begin by going over what templates are in terms of the Flux system. We'll be switching back and forth between the admin panel and the dashboard in order to better demonstrate what goes into making a template. Let's begin in the admin panel. Templates are a combination of dynamic and static content. Letters can be generated from templates over and over again to reflect the changing content in a record. Templates are created in the admin panel with Text Editor. They can be accessed by going to the admin panel, which we're in now, then navigating to Card Documents, Grant Requests, and then Letters. Templates are used for grant agreements, award documents, terms and conditions, cover letters, or any other letter that needs to be regenerated often. Templates are dynamic, so if you generate a letter one day, change the content of the record, and then generate the template again, the letter will contain the latest version of the data of the card. So as you can see here, this contains all the information in the card at this moment. However, if you modify the record, this is also going to be reflected in the letter. Just generate a new one. And you can see here that the information updated. So now that we know how a template is translated into a letter, let's go back into the admin panel and explore how to create a template. Templates are created in the card documents section of the admin panel and categorized by the card on which they appear. Let's take a look at some of the options we have when creating a new template. So let's begin by clicking on the white bar at the bottom of the panel. This creates a blank template. To add content to your template, click on the Edit Text link in the Attributes tab on the right. This will open a text editor panel that allows you to create and edit your template. Here you have multiple options for editing your template. And we'll go over those options in more detail in a future webinar. Each model type has its own templates. Currently, we're looking at request templates, which would only appear on request cards. Since we now know how to edit templates, let's look into editing individual letters. This is the desktop letter editor. Letters can be adjusted with the slimmed down version of the editor on the desktop. Any changes made to this letter in the desktop editor would only be reflected in this specific letter. In order to get back to the original version of the letter, you'll have to regenerate the letter from the card that it was on. So how are templates and generated letters displayed on the card? As you can see, they all appear in a drop-down like this. The name you assign to the template in the admin panel will dictate the order in which the template appears in the ad hoc drop-down menu of the dashboard. The name of the letter is dictated by the content of the description box right here in the attributes calendar. Now if you scroll down, you'll have to click on the display in the ad hoc document / letter generation list. Every card has an ad hoc list, but only if there's documents available in the admin letter section. Otherwise, this blue icon won't appear. Now the same blue icon will show you all the templates that are on that card if you click on that button on the component. After they're generated, they'll show up in a list format within the component, as you can see here. Now that we're comfortable with what a letter and a template is and how they appear in the Flux system, let's move to how they compare to a snapshot. If you want a static copy or snapshot of a record at different states of a workflow, check this box in the admin panel to enable that functionality. Right here. Now let's talk about how to insert dynamic content in your templates. Dynamic content can be added to a letter by putting liquid code in your template. When drafting your template, it's best to put everything you want in liquid code into brackets. That way you can highlight the bracketed area and insert code. Here are the steps to adding liquid code to your template. First, add field names in brackets. Always have a space before and after the bracketed area. Next, you're going to want to highlight the text you want to insert a field name into. Then you're going to want to click into the field button. And you're going to select the field from the modal that appears. So a modal will appear where you can specify which field you want to include. In this example, we're looking for the name of the organization receiving a grant. So we're going to go down to Program Organization. And then the field we're going to use is going to be name. And of course, you're going to have to click Insert Field. Don't do it twice like I did there. And then, of course, make sure you save your template every time you make any edits. Easy. So now that we've gone over the basic steps to creating a template, let's explore other options available when creating a template. A lot of these are going to be located on the attributes section to the right. A template can be generated at a state. And you'll see all of your workflow states in this dropdown. You could also assign a document type to a template. And these are something we're also going to cover in a future webinar. Now, if you want to view all the templates currently in your Flux build, you can do so by running a live report called Content Generator. So go to your live reports up here. And this is where your Content Generator live report is going to be. To run it, click that, and we'll go ahead and download it to your computer. So now that we have all the template settings configured in the card documents menu, let's go back to the global settings and let's configure our print settings. So navigate to global settings and print settings. In the attributes tab, it's very important that you have the show printable button checked. This is the only true way to print because it respects all global settings. By checking this box, it allows you to generate a document meant for printing from your browser. Let's go back to the dashboard and see how that works. The printable button respects the dimensions set up in global settings. By clicking the print button, it will generate a new tab in your browser with the printable document displayed. Another option that can be found on the document card is the download button. Here. This creates an image of the document card. Currently, there is no global settings to activate or deactivate this. It displays an image of the document card the user is on, but uses the Flux system font, which is Arial, and does not respect any global settings, such as font family, font size, and uses the narrow default browser margin settings. Another option for exporting and printing information from the Flux system is to use the PDF button here. This generates a PDF of the document card. This button also does not respect the global print settings. Lastly, we have the Word button. The Word button will generate the letter as a Word document, but doesn't respect all formatting and is not recommended. The Word button should only be used when you need to make a lot of additions to a document, you need to adjust the font size or family, or need to add special formatting. Okay, so this is going to conclude today's webinar on the basics of letters and templates. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. If there's any features that I did not cover extensively, like the text editor, these are some things that we're going to be hosting in trainings in future webinars to address these features. You may also learn about any of these features by visiting our knowledge base. So I think we have time for a couple of questions. First question is a good question. Can I copy and paste text directly from Word? Yes, you can. To copy from Word, again, just go to the admin panel, navigate to the letter you wish to paste text into, and that should do it. Let's get in there with you. Admin panel, card documents, letters. So once you hit edit text here, you'll get the text editor. And if you've already copied something, you'll go ahead and go to edit and paste as text. Now you'll lose any special formatting, but this feature does allow you to copy and paste without the associated metadata. Next question is one that we do get a lot as well. Can I change the font type on one of my letters, such as the board documents, but not the others? No, you can't. There's only one type style for all letters. This includes margins as well. So once you've configured your settings in the global settings, the settings will apply to all of your letters. Okay, we're going to call it for today. You'll be able to find video recordings of past webinars and any continued Q&A on our knowledge base, flux.io/knowledge. So in conclusion, today we went over what are templates, how do I create a template, can I edit the letter once it's generated, how is the ad hoc menu populated and sorted, how do templates compare to snapshots, how do I add dynamic content to my templates, what other options are available for letter templates, and finally, what export and print settings are available. Again, to learn more and to access the video recording of this webinar, please visit our knowledge base at flux.io/knowledge. There you'll be able to find a list of our upcoming webinars, links to register for future webinars, and recordings of past webinars under training webinars. Or, of course, feel free to ask us at support, and we'd be happy to help you. Thanks again for joining us today, and we hope to host you again at our next training. Have a great day.